Muhammad Omar Gautam has had one mission ever since he took the Shahadah: to do Dawah, spread the word of Islam, and provide for the needy. He has steadfastly towed this path for decades to a modest level of success. However, his sincerity of purpose and respect for the laws of the land wasn't enough for him not to draw the scorn of the government and its agents. Since 2021, Umar Gautam has been at the mercy of the government forces of the Uttar Pradesh Police Department on allegations of forced conversion, among other dubious charges. Due to this, Umar, his family, and his organization have suffered untold hardship and victimization from mere allegations that are yet to be proven after 2 years and over 770 days in detention. Let's get a little backstory about Umar. Umar Gautam was born Shyam Pratap Singh Gautam to a Hindu family in Fatehpur district of Uttar Pradesh. Umar has always been a devoted religious person from his Hindu worshipping days. Yet, he didn't always take everything at face value, but always seeks a deeper meaning to them. Umar had a Muslim neighbor named Nasir Khan while studying for his bachelor's degree at the Govind Ballabh Pant University. It was Nasir who would later influence Umar's decision to become a Muslim. Umar was an accident victim, an event that hampered his ability to move freely on his own. Seeing his situation, his neighbor Nasir offered and took Umar everywhere he needed to be on his bicycle, even to his temple twice a week. The act of kindness was a pleasant surprise to Umar, who later asked Nasir why he was doing all that for him. Nasir responded that, as a Muslim, he owes a responsibility to his neighbors to do right by them, irrespective of the religion. This moved Umar so much that he began to study the Quran in addition to the Bible and other religious books. Umar would later become a Muslim after he had gained enough knowledge about Islam, a decision his parents rejected vehemently. Several overtures were made, but Umar had already made up his mind. However, his parents were not going to give up easily, and in 1984, a marriage was arranged between Umar and his betrothed wife, Razia, to try and change his mind just in case his decision was being influenced by a Muslim girl somewhere. This didn't work, and the marriage was already sealed. Umar's parents disowned him. Well, he knew that was inevitable at that point. He moved to Delhi to settle with his wife, who would later voluntarily revert to Islam months later. Umar obtained a master's in Islamic studies on his way to becoming a respected Islamic scholar. Fast forward to 2008, Umar set up Islamic Dawah Center, IDC, a charitable organization that caters for needy Muslims and prospective Muslims. There, Umar's trouble started, but it would not become obvious until over a decade later. How did it all start? It all started when two young men tried to enter a Hindu temple. Although the two men said all they wanted to do was debate the Hindu priest in charge of the temple on why he has been so bitter and uncouth against Muslims, often going to the extreme with his words against Islam. They were, however, apprehended and assaulted. While interviewing the two men, the police said they got information that another young Muslim, Ramadan, had helped him in his decision to become a Muslim. When questioned, Ramadan pointed to Umar as the person who helped formalize his papers when he too decided to become a Muslim. Now, please note that freedom of religion association remains a fundamental human right in India. However, Uttar Pradesh Unlawful Conversion Prohibition Act of 2020 enforces the conviction in the cases of unlawful conversion of a minor, woman, or member of a scheduled caste or tribe or an authorized interreligious marriage. Umar had legally helped hundreds of new Muslims obtain official documents to show that they are now Muslims after quizzing them to determine if truly they want to become Muslims, and their decision is not being coerced or influenced by other people. Umar was invited to answer questions on June 17, 2021, on allegations of cheating, criminal conspiracy, promoting enmity between different groups on grounds of religion, race, etc., committing acts against national integration, insulting religious beliefs, and attempting to commit offenses. His phone was retained, and he was allowed to go home only for them to arrest him 3 days later. For days, Umar's whereabouts was unknown to his family. The police refused to answer questions until a friend informed his son that he was in detention in Lucknow, the capital of Uttar Pradesh. In the weeks and months that followed, the arrest and detention of Umar was the hot topic on primetime television, made worse by the media trial the police employed. This approach is most likely due to the evidence of any crime committed that they lacked. So they had to ensure they dragged him in enough mud to stain his reputation. The court was not helpful either, as they refused to grant Umar legal team's request for the police to cease with the media trial. In many of the police's media trial against Umar, they claimed he is trying to change the religious demography of India, that he's an agent of the Pakistan Intelligence Agency, ICI, that he submitted documents that shows he has converted over 1,000 people to Islam, among others. Irrespective of the fact that several of people they claimed Umar forcefully converted have been out to say that they did willingly. Some did before meeting Umar at all, and all he did for them was help them obtain the right papers to make their conversion legal. The police remained adamant in their claim. Umar's son, Abdullah, was also detained in connection to the same charges of forceful conversion. On February 11th, 2022, Umar was granted bail on one of the charges, but lack of resolution on the remaining charges meant he would remain incarcerated despite pleas and public outcries. Finally, after 776 days in detention, Umar was finally released on bail on the 4th of August, 2023. Alhamdulillah.